Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have today is the Hinoura Tsuchiime, or hammered Shitogami or white number 2 Gyuto 210mm knife. So this line of knives has a core steel of Shitogami or white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. Heat treats about 62 Rockwell on that core steel. The construction is on either side is 3 layers. So on either side of that hard core steel, we've got a stainless, soft stainless cladding. This cladding does have a really cool hammered, kind of a deep scalloped hammered pattern to it, as well as a kurouchi or kind of blacksmith protective finish on it, and a very consistent gunmetal gray finish to the blade grind, including a polished edge core steel showing there. Very cool aesthetic on these. If we look closely, the cladding does not cover the spine. So the spine, when you look close, shows you those 3 layers, and so it's kind of really cool to be able to see that. But that does tell you that the core steel, which is reactive, is exposed at the spine as well. So just keep that in mind in terms of keeping it dry after use, not letting it sit wet. So the weight and dimensions on these will vary just a little bit, and you will notice that the blade height is pretty low on this one, and I don't think this is a one-off on these. That would be a very big one-off. But so this is almost had more of a 210 petty type dimensions to it. So this particular one is 144 grams or 5.1 ounces. The edge length about 203 millimeters or right about 8 inches, and the overall length is 358 millimeters. Or about 14.1 inches. Spine thickness, these are not particularly thick knives for the type of knife that they are, so this is really cool. They're not super thick at the spine. This one I measured about 2.6 millimeters above the back of the blade, and I measured about 2.2 about halfway down the blade. And then we pretty much just keep that same thickness, not a lot of taper until we hit the grind. And then we get nice and thin at the very tip. They also get thin at the edge. So these are very nice performing knives. Blade height again is a 41.6 millimeters, so this is a not a very tall blade. It's got that 210 kind of petty style look, geometry, kind of overall shape to it. But however, the neck is not particularly wide, so even, I've got kind of medium-sized hands, and I've still got reasonable grip there. I've got pretty good clearance on there, so definitely usable. Unless you got really big hands, or unless your grip's different like that or something. So the handles on these are very nice, high quality, kind of semi-custom type quality. Key ebony with a laurel ferrule, and you can see they've got kind of a rounded butt end to them. And they're kind of standard height, but narrow on the width. So there's the shape to them, they're octagonal. So they've got kind of a thin feel to them. They're about 70 millimeters in circumference where the 2 woods meet, and a nice tight handle install on these, very well done. The handle on this works really well to kind of keep with the balance and style of the knife. Ebony is kind of heavy, so you can see what the balance point looks like on there. And the blade is not very tall, so it's a light blade, but there's your balance point, which is obviously a little bit behind a pinch grip. The fit and finish on these is very, very good. I have yet to see a Hinoura knife with anything less than stellar quality. So they're straight, the grinds are really clean, lots of attention to detail. They're just very, very well made and consistently very well made. So really neat looking knife. Up close we've got hand chiseled, hand engraved kanji on the right side of the blade. You can feel that with your finger. You can see the deep kind of hammering on there and a really kind of cool scallop pattern, and some of that kurouchi kind of finish on there. And then we have a frosted, probably sandblasted blade robe, but a nice gunmetal grade that's really consistent, and then a shiny polished core steel. So it's a very interesting contrasty look. Here's the left side of the blade as you'd be holding it, using it. They've rounded off just a little bit of the corners of the spine. They've rounded off and ground down the corners of the choil into the neck, so it's very comfortable. This had an out-of-the-box edge. I'd say 5 or 6 out of 10. It'll definitely get a ton sharper if you want to put it to the stones, which you should. The steel will get very, very sharp. It's a great steel. It's easy to sharpen, takes a nice edge. Here's the edge profile on this, and they tend to be a little flatter towards the back half of the blade. So this knife has a lot of good all-around profile characteristics to it for lots of uses and techniques. So here we have a good flat section towards the back 40% of the blade. Nice roll into a flat stop there, but not too abrupt. Definitely good chopping back there. We've got a pretty low belly on there, kind of a medium-low tip. I'm not going to get real high on this, maybe up in there, which really is actually pretty high for the type of the knife that it is and the height of it. So you can definitely rock with this over kind of medium-low stuff. Definitely chop towards the back, push-pull cuts. Just an excellent kind of all-around versatile profile. But these are very high-quality knives, and they're made extremely well, and they're kind of heirloom quality, so just a really nice piece. So this is the Hinoura Tsuchiime or hammered Shitogami or white number 2 Gyuto 210mm knife.